Welcome back to Almost Live with Cassie Joy. I'm your host, Cassie Joy Garcia. I'm so excited to have you guys here again in my home. These videos are, again, a dream come true. So today we're cooking up another recipe from my book, Fed and Fit. Ta-da! Today we are making this delicious sausage and tomato frittata. Frittata makes me think of The Lion King when they're talking about Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful thing. Okay, so first things first, what we are going to do is we are going to start off by browning our sausage, and then we'll move on to whisking the eggs and everything. Again, this is a really fast recipe. Okay, so while the sausage is cooking, let's go ahead and crack our eggs. We're only going to need a dozen eggs for this recipe. I'm going to go ahead and crack these into a very large mixing bowl. Now we've got our 12 eggs, a dozen of them, right here in this bowl. Go ahead and mix them up. I like to poke all the yolks first, and that kind of helps the whisking go by. All my yolks are poked. Let's give it a whisk. Look at that. So easy. So frittata. If you're not familiar with them, it's essentially a big crustless egg pie, kind of like a crustless quiche that you can fill with all kinds of vegetables and proteins to your liking. And then you kind of get it started on the stove, especially with the proteins, and then you add in the eggs, you make it nice and fluffy, you add some toppings. A lot of the times they're made with cheese. And then you finish them off in the oven and you bake them until they're cooked all the way through. They're so easy. We're going to get creative and we're going to use these beauties to help make the frittata gorgeous on top. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to take these tomatoes and I'm going to slice very thin slices, and then we're going to lay them on top of the eggs once it's in the pan and bake them together. It'll be beautiful. And you won't miss the cheese. Okay, now that our sausage is nice and crispy looking and brown just the way I like it, if you like sausage that's crispier, go for it to cook it longer. You do you. I'm going to go ahead and add in our whisked eggs. Pour it right into the pan while it's on the stove. Let the heat of the pan go ahead and slightly cook the eggs. And I'm just stirring it so that everything will combine. All the sausage will get evenly coated with the eggs. Cooking it like this also helps make the frittata a little bit fluffier than if we had just poured plain old liquid eggs into a pan and then stuck it into the oven. From here, it gets even more simple, believe it or not. We're just going to take our slices of tomato and lay them on top. Look at that! Oh, it's beautiful. From here, this might sound like an odd addition, but I've been making this frittata for years and years and years, and the fennel makes this frittata. It's probably my favorite part. So we're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons is what I have written in the recipe. Just kind of eyeball it, whatever you think looks good. And again, this helps garnish the top of the frittata and makes us not really miss that bubbly cheese on top. It adds some really healthy flavor, some nice texture, and it's pretty. So we're going to eyeball about 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt to the top, and then about 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. That's it, and then the frittata is done. As far as we're concerned, we're just going to stick it into the oven at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. And we're back! Look at this beauty pie that just came out of the oven. Get my oven. Oh! Thanks again for joining me on today's show. Remember to click subscribe if you haven't already to this channel. We'll be back again every week with a brand new episode, and it's going to be so much fun. So thanks for joining me. I hope you love this frittata, and I'll see you next week.